How's everyone doing? I'm back out here at Circle C Disc Golf Park in Austin, Texas. As you can see, it's a beautiful day, little windy, but we're gonna try to get through it. And as always, there are no pictures on the scorecard. This is the first hole at Circle C. It's a par 4, 440 feet at doglegs left. I don't know what this is. I've since taken it out of my bag, but that was a pretty good throw. I just shot my laser, and I'm laying right over here. As you can see, the basket is down the tunnel down there. I'm about 280 feet out. I don't really have a backhand that'll go that far, so I'm just going to try to play a understable forehand and try to get it to swoop in there and slide up to the basket. So that wasn't a bad throw. I kind of caught a rock and it slowed it down a little bit. I probably could have thrown it a little further in the air, but it wasn't terrible. I'll make par for sure. Have a look at a birdie from what's probably a circle's edge or so, but not bad. My goal today is just to try to shoot somewhere around even par and not lose any discs. I mean, that's always the goal, but if I can be around even par, I'll be pretty happy, especially on a breezy day like today. I was counting my steps as I walked up to this throw, and I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 to 50 feet. So I decided to give this a little run. Oh, and I caught the basket. It was such a good putt. I'm very happy with that putt. But an opening par is never anything to complain about out here at Circle C. It's not a gimme birdie. It's an easy par, but it's not a gimme birdie. Ordinarily on this hole, which doglegs to the right here, I would throw, I've been throwing a very understable putter backhand, but with the wind up as it is today, I'm going to go with a very stable mid-range. Try not to overthrow it, just get it to kind of hyzer around the corner and put me somewhere close for a look at a birdie. Yeah, pretty good throw there. I'm happy with that. I should have a look at a birdie from somewhere inside the circle, so can't be disappointed in that. That was a good throw. It's a beautiful day. There's not as much wind in here amongst the trees and everything on the front nine of this course, but the wind's going to come up when we get to the back nine, especially when you get around hole 11. That's where it really comes up. If you watched my last video, you know I have trouble with these Circle 1 putts, and I have not practiced between that video and now. So I'll bet you can guess what's about to happen. Yeah, I didn't even draw metal from, what, about 15, 18 feet, somewhere like that. Definitely inside the circle. Didn't even draw metal. Forced to take a par. Not great. I'm pretty disappointed with that. Yeah, that was a disappointing par. I should have made that putt. It wasn't that tough of a putt, and I completely missed the basket. Didn't even draw metal, so not great. But I'm even through two and haven't really had any scares yet, so keep it going. So the third hole out here at Circle C is not very long. It's straight away. The basket is right there. There's no real forehand play here, so you're kind of forced to a backhand as a righty. So what you really want to try to do is get something to flip up to the right a little bit to open some space for the hyzer to go back into the basket. And I actually throw a really good shot right there. Yeah, that was a really good throw there. Nice, went with my most understable mid-range there and just let it flip up, and it drifted right toward the basket. If I'd have thrown it a touch harder, it might even hit the post, but pretty happy with that shot. That was really good.
I know it's early in the round, but it's never too early for 28 seconds of peace. So on the fourth hole out here, there's no real forehand play for a righty. You got to throw backhand, and you got to go through this gap right here. And I do not do that. Instead, I go through that gap, which is a little smaller, but somehow I hit it.
Not exactly how you draw it up, but I will take that.
Just a word of advice for you. If you're going to come out here and play Circle C, I would definitely recommend that you go through this gap and don't try to shoot the gap between these two trees. It's not the percentage play. That throw was an accident for me, and it just worked out, as you can see.
Okay, so we got a tricky hole here. It's a long par 5 that doglegs right sharply up there, about the area where I usually land my tee shots. So I try to stay to the left of the fairway and go as far as I can. That opens up an angle to go down the path toward the basket. See how I do.
To me, this hole sets up perfectly for my forehand hyzer flip, basically. I try to throw this really close to this tree, get it to slide to the left a little bit, and then just start hyzering basically down around the corner into the fairway. It doesn't really set up great for a backhand shot, in my opinion. So I'm throwing an understable Mamba here. I like this disc. I like how I can get it to flip up like this and drift to the left and then start hyzering back just like that. That's a really good throw. I'm happy with that.
Definitely one of my better drives on this hole ever. My disc is right there. That's the path down to the green. All I really need to do now is throw another really good, basically straight shot down the path, and hopefully I have a sweet little upshot to a nice birdie.
I make a mistake here in what disc I'm throwing. I'm throwing a disc that's a little understable for this shot. I should have taken something a little more stable, and I don't throw a very good shot.
So that shot got a little understable on me and drifted into the woods. So now I might be in a little trouble. I guess hopefully I'll have a shot out.
I'm still learning how my discs will react in various wind conditions, so this wasn't a terrible throw. I think I just picked the wrong disc. I needed something a little more stable, and now I'm having to try to create something here. I get a little kiss off that tree, and it kicks me into the woods. Now I'm going to be scrambling for par. I had to channel my inner mountain goat to get up to this disc, and it's not a real makeable birdie shot. I'm just trying to lay this up there and take the drop in for par. I got out of position on my second shot, and I have to take my medicine now.
So I've probably mentioned this on a previous video, but this hole is a tricky little hole, the 6th at Circle C. There are two ways to play it. If you have the backhand, you can go through this gap. But if you have a forehand, you can go through that gap. I'm kind of up in the air on which one is the better one. The forehand has the advantage that it's working toward the outside of the dogleg at the end of its flight, which usually will put you in a better spot, a better angle to get to the basket. The backhand has the advantage that there's a gap there, and if you can throw it straight for a long time, you can get further down the fairway and have a better look at birdie. I don't have a very strong backhand, so I tend to go with the forehand gap.
One thing I forgot to mention is that if you can throw the backhand and keep it straight longer and get it to hyzer toward the end of its flight, it'll work down the fairway toward the basket. The forehand does not give you that option. And yeah, I just threw a really bad forehand and hit a tree, so now I'm in trouble. I'll be scrambling. The one advantage to that miserable shot I just threw is that I'm in pretty good position here to throw a backhand and get it to go down the fairway toward the basket if I can make a good throw. And actually, that was not bad. I will take that.
So you probably guessed from where that tee shot ended up that it was